Whenever I go over the Calvin cycle, I'll usually show a diagram that looks like this. I'm going to quickly go over this process. You can see this 5-carbon molecule called RUBP is going to bind to a 1-carbon CO2 molecule. The enzyme that facilitates this reaction is known as Rubisco. Since we're adding this carbon to this 5-carbon molecule, it becomes a 6-carbon molecule. This 6-carbon molecule is unstable and breaks down into two 3-PGA molecules. So both of these are known as 3-PGA. More reactions occur that are going to change the 3-PGA into G3P molecules. One of these G3P molecules will go and make glucose, while the other is going to be recycled to make RUBP. Now, there's a problem here. You can see there are 3 carbon atoms in G3P and 5 carbon atoms in RUBP. And we're not intaking more CO2, so there's this problem of where are the carbon atoms coming from? So what it actually looks like is that we start out with 3 of these 5-carbon molecules. We're adding 3 CO2. We're getting 3 of these 6-carbon molecules. We're getting 6 of these 3-PGAs, and we're making 6 total G3Ps. So we're kind of tripling everything here. We're having 3, 3, 6, 6, and then back to 3. This should make sense because if we have 5 3-carbon molecules, we'll have 3 5-carbon molecules here. This portion here is just showing the recycling of the 5 3-carbon molecules into 3 5-carbon. If we do the math, 5 times 3 is 15, 3 times 5 is 15. But this is kind of hard to see with all these numbers, so let me show you in a different way. This looks better to me. You can see we have 3 of the RUBPs, which have 5 carbons. We have 3 CO2s. We have 3 of these 6-carbon molecules, 6 of these 3-PGAs, and a total of 6 of these G3Ps. So again, we have 3 of these 5-carbon molecules, which means we have 15 carbon atoms, and they're going to be recycled to make 3 of these 5-carbon RUBPs. Now there's one more problem here. We have a G3P molecule going to make glucose. The problem is that glucose has 6 carbons, not 3. So we actually need 2 of these G3P molecules to make a single glucose molecule. So what we actually have to do is we have to double everything. And this should kind of make sense. To get a single glucose molecule, you need 6 carbon atoms. So we're going to need 6 CO2 molecules to be input into this reaction. So we actually start out with 6 RUBPs. We're going to take in 6 CO2s. We're going to make 6 of these 6-carbon molecules. We're going to get 12 of these 3-PGAs. We're then going to change these into 12 G3Ps. 2 of these will go to make glucose, and the other 10 will go to make these 6 RUBPs. Now again, there's a lot of different reactions going on here. I'm trying to simplify and say, hey, just focus on the carbons. But what I really want my students to understand is that these 6 carbon atoms in glucose were originally from the 6 CO2 that the plant intakes through the stomata.